Carl Jung, one of the most influential thinkers of modern psychology, believed that the greatest mystery of human life is not found outside of us, but within. Beneath our conscious awareness lies the subconscious mind, a vast inner world that silently shapes our personality, decisions, relationships, and even the meaning we give to life itself. Unlike the conscious mind, which deals with logic, planning, and daily awareness, the subconscious holds our hidden memories, suppressed emotions, unexpressed desires, and powerful instincts. Jung described this inner dimension as both personal and collective. The personal unconscious contains our unique forgotten experiences and repressed traits, while the collective unconscious contains patterns and symbols that all human beings share, universal images that appear in myths, religions, and stories across cultures. These universal forces, which Jung called archetypes, guide us unconsciously like ancient maps of human existence, yet Jung did not stop at theory. He showed us that the subconscious communicates constantly, through our dreams, our emotional triggers, our imagination, and even through the strange coincidences we call synchronicities. By learning to listen to these signals, Jung believed we can embark on a process of individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming whole. Individuation means integrating the hidden parts of ourselves, accepting both our strengths and our shadows, and living as our most authentic self. In this journey, the subconscious is not an enemy to be feared, but a guide to be understood. One of the first steps in this process is recognizing the mask we present to the world, the persona. In this script, we will explore Jung's most powerful methods to unlock this hidden world within and live a more authentic, complete life. Carl Jung introduced the idea of the persona to explain how human beings present themselves to society. The persona is like a mask, carefully constructed to fit social expectations, roles, and norms. It represents the image we project to the outside world, our job titles, manners, clothing, and even the way we speak. While the persona is essential for functioning in society, it can become dangerous if we mistake it for our true self. For example, a teacher may take pride in being seen as intelligent and disciplined, while suppressing traits that do not fit that role. A businessman might identify completely with success, wealth, and power, hiding vulnerability or creativity. Over time, people may confuse their persona with their actual identity, becoming trapped in a false image. Jung warned that this can lead to inner emptiness because the authentic self is ignored in favor of a social performance. The danger of over-identifying with the persona is that the shadow grows stronger. All the qualities that do not fit the mask get pushed into the unconscious. For instance, someone who insists on always being polite may repress anger, which then appears in unhealthy bursts. The persona is necessary, but if it dominates, we lose contact with deeper aspects of our psyche. Jung encouraged awareness of the persona's limits. Rather than destroying it, he advised balancing it, recognizing that the persona is a tool, not the core of our identity. We need masks to survive in different environments, but we must not forget the face beneath the mask. By examining where we are pretending or overperforming, we can uncover the authentic self that waits behind the persona. Integration means learning to use the persona consciously while staying connected to inner truth. In this way, the persona becomes flexible, serving us instead of controlling us. Carl Jung believed that one of the most important steps toward self-discovery is confronting the shadow, the hidden side of our personality. The shadow contains all the traits, emotions, and desires that we suppress, reject, or deny because they do not fit with the image we want to present to the world. For example, a child who is punished for expressing anger may grow up believing that anger is bad, and so he buries that emotion deep within himself. Yet this anger does not disappear, it moves into the shadow and continues to influence behavior unconsciously. It may emerge later as passive aggression, sudden bursts of rage, or constant irritability. Jung emphasized that everyone has a shadow, and it is not inherently evil. It simply represents the parts of ourselves that remain unacknowledged. Traits like jealousy, selfishness, laziness, pride, or aggression may seem negative, but they also carry hidden energy and lessons for growth. Shadow work, the process of exploring and integrating the shadow, involves courage and honesty. Jung suggested paying close attention to what triggers strong emotional reactions in us. Often, the qualities we criticize most harshly in others are reflections of traits we have not accepted in ourselves. For example, if arrogance deeply annoys you, it may be because you secretly desire recognition but fear expressing it. By recognizing this projection, you begin to reclaim your hidden self. Once identified, the next step is acceptance without judgment. This does not mean acting on every shadow impulse, but rather acknowledging its presence and understanding its role. Journaling, therapy, or self-reflection can help uncover the roots of these suppressed traits. Integration follows acceptance, learning how to express these parts in healthy, constructive ways. For instance, instead of denying ambition, one might channel it into achieving meaningful goals without arrogance. Jung taught that individuation, or becoming whole, is impossible without shadow integration. By facing our darkness, we reclaim lost energy, creativity, and authenticity. The shadow is not an obstacle, it is a doorway to self-awareness and inner freedom. Another powerful Jungian concept is the anima and animus, the inner feminine side of a man and the inner masculine side of a woman. Jung believed that every person carries within them qualities of the opposite gender. These unconscious traits influence attraction, relationships, creativity, and psychological growth. The anima represents qualities like intuition, sensitivity, receptivity, and emotional depth. In men, the anima often appears in dreams or imagination as a female figure, sometimes idealized and sometimes destructive. For example, a man may dream of a mysterious woman who inspires him to explore art or spirituality. If ignored, the anima can appear in negative forms, such as moodiness, emotional instability, or obsession with women. The animus, on the other hand, symbolizes logic, strength, drive, and rationality. In women, the animus may appear as a male figure in dreams, acting as guide or critic. Positively, it helps women develop independence, assertiveness, and clear thinking. Negatively, an unconscious animus can appear as a harsh inner voice that criticizes or dominates. Jung believed that integrating the anima or animus is crucial for individuation. When men deny their feminine side, they risk becoming emotionally shallow, cut off from creativity and empathy. When women deny their masculine side, they risk becoming dependent or unable to assert themselves. By acknowledging and embracing these inner figures, individuals achieve balance. A man who listens to his anima learns compassion and imagination, while a woman who integrates her animus develops strength and clarity. The anima and animus also play a role in attraction. Often, we project our inner opposite qualities onto others, falling in love with someone who reflects our unrecognized inner self. However, true growth comes not from expecting a partner to complete us, but from recognizing and integrating these qualities within ourselves. By exploring the anima and animus, we expand our personal potential. We learn to harmonize emotion with reason, intuition with logic, and receptivity with action. The goal is not to be half a person, but whole, embracing both masculine and feminine energies within. Beyond the personal shadow, Jung proposed that every human being carries within them universal patterns of behavior and experience called archetypes. Archetypes live in the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of human memory and wisdom that transcends time, culture, and geography. They appear as symbolic figures, themes, and stories that repeat across history. For example, the hero archetype is seen in myths from Hercules to King Arthur to modern superheroes like Spider-Man. The wise elder appears as Merlin, Gandalf, or even Yoda, guides who provide wisdom in times of struggle. Jung identified 12 primary archetypes: the ruler, creator, sage, innocent, explorer, rebel, hero, wizard, jester, everyman, lover, and caregiver. Each archetype represents a fundamental human motivation and way of experiencing life. Most people resonate strongly with a few archetypes, which shape their personality and life choices. For example, someone with a dominant caregiver archetype might feel compelled to nurture others, sometimes even at the expense of their own needs. Someone influenced by the explorer archetype may feel restless in routine and crave adventure or discovery. Archetypes also appear in dreams as symbolic characters. A dream about a journey may reflect the hero within you, while the appearance of a wise old figure could symbolize the sage guiding you toward deeper understanding. Recognizing archetypes in your own life can provide clarity about your motivations, strengths, and challenges. Jung believed that understanding our archetypes allows us to live more consciously, choosing paths aligned with our inner patterns rather than being unconsciously driven by them. By studying myths, literature, and modern films, we see reflections of our own psychological journey. Archetypes remind us that our struggles, triumphs, and growth are part of a larger human story. Exploring them opens the door to deeper self-knowledge and a sense of connection to humanity as a whole. For Carl Jung, dreams were not random or meaningless, they were messages from the unconscious mind. He famously stated, "Dreams are the facts from which we must proceed." Dreams communicate through symbols, images, and narratives, revealing hidden emotions, unresolved conflicts, and future possibilities. Jung categorized dreams into types, each serving a unique purpose. Compensatory dreams balance what we suppress in waking life. Prospective dreams prepare us for upcoming challenges. Archetypal dreams connect us to universal human patterns. Shadow dreams confront us with repressed traits, and recurring dreams highlight unresolved psychological issues. Even nightmares, though frightening, carry essential insights into our fears, inner struggles, and unacknowledged desires. To harness their power, Jung recommended 3 key steps: documentation, interpretation, and amplification. Documentation means writing down every detail immediately upon waking. Interpretation involves understanding the symbols psychologically, rather than literally. For instance, a snake in one dream might symbolize transformation, while in another it represents fear, depending on personal context. Amplification connects dream symbols to myths, cultural stories, or collective archetypes, enriching their meaning. A dream of fire could signify both destruction and renewal, echoing themes from the Phoenix myth. Through consistent dream analysis, we establish a dialogue with the unconscious. Dreams mirror what we avoid in our waking lives, highlight hidden strengths, and guide our growth. They reveal the unacknowledged parts of ourselves and offer solutions to problems we cannot consciously solve. By taking dreams seriously, we learn to align conscious choices with unconscious wisdom. Jung believed that dreams are not merely nighttime experiences, they are tools for transformation, providing insights essential for individuation and living a more authentic life. Active imagination is one of Jung's most profound methods for connecting with the unconscious while awake. Unlike dreams, which occur spontaneously, active imagination is a deliberate practice where one allows inner images, feelings, or voices to surface and consciously engages with them. The purpose is not fantasy, but integration, bridging the rational conscious mind with the symbolic, often irrational, language of the unconscious. Jung developed this method during personal crises when overwhelming visions and emotions arose. Instead of repressing them, he engaged with these images through dialogue, art, or writing, documenting the process in what became his famous Red Book. The practice involves techniques such as visualization, dialogue writing, or artistic expression. For example, if a person visualizes a dark figure representing suppressed anger, they might imagine a conversation. "Who are you? What do you want to show me?" The responses may appear as images, feelings, or sudden insights, revealing the psyche's hidden truths. A key principle of active imagination is suspending judgment. The unconscious communicates in symbols that may appear strange, absurd, or frightening. Rejecting these images blocks the process. Instead, one must approach with curiosity and respect. By patiently interacting with inner figures, individuals uncover fears, desires, or creative impulses previously ignored. Active imagination allows these energies to be consciously understood and expressed constructively, reducing the risk of unconscious patterns controlling behavior. This practice also enhances creativity. Artists, writers, and innovators often engage unconsciously in similar processes when drawing inspiration from inner imagery. By consciously practicing active imagination, we consciously co-create with the unconscious, integrating its wisdom into daily life. In essence, this method transforms the unconscious from a mysterious force into a creative partner, facilitating self-awareness, emotional balance, and personal growth. Carl Jung introduced the concept of synchronicity to describe meaningful coincidences, moments where external events align with our inner psychological state in a way that defies cause and effect logic. Unlike random chance, these experiences carry profound personal significance, as though the universe itself is speaking directly to us. Jung observed that synchronicities often occur during times of emotional intensity, transformation, or critical decisions. They may appear as repeated numbers, symbolic events, or chance encounters that feel too perfect to be mere coincidence. A famous example comes from Jung's clinical work. He was treating a patient who described a dream about a golden scarab beetle, a symbol of transformation. At that exact moment, a beetle resembling the scarab tapped at the window. This external event mirrored the patient's inner transformation, triggering a therapeutic breakthrough. Such moments illustrate synchronicity, an acausal connection between the inner world of the psyche and external reality. Jung explained that synchronicities are mediated by archetypal patterns, connecting the collective unconscious with the material world. These patterns act as bridges, aligning inner states with outer events in ways that cannot be explained statistically. For example, someone contemplating a career change might suddenly meet a person who provides perfect guidance, or a grieving individual might encounter a symbol that brings comfort and clarity. These coincidences feel meaningful precisely because they resonate deeply with our inner experience. Working with synchronicity requires awareness and reflection. Most people dismiss coincidences as random, but Jung encouraged observing the timing, symbolism, and personal relevance of these moments. By asking, "What does this event mean for me now?" we can extract guidance for our inner journey. While critics argue that synchronicity is just selective perception, its psychological impact is undeniable. Recognizing meaningful coincidences fosters insight, alignment, and confidence in life's unfolding, reminding us that the universe and psyche are intricately connected. In essence, synchronicity is not about predicting the future, it is about recognizing patterns of meaning that reveal our relationship with life. By paying attention to these subtle cues, we engage in a dialogue with the universe, fostering deeper awareness, trust, and a sense of interconnectedness with existence itself. Carl Jung's teachings offer a roadmap for self-discovery and transformation. By understanding the persona, confronting the shadow, integrating the anima and animus, recognizing archetypes, analyzing dreams, practicing active imagination, and noticing synchronicity, we gradually bridge the gap between conscious and unconscious. This journey, individuation, is about becoming whole. We learn to balance outer appearances with inner truth, harness hidden energies, and embrace both masculine and feminine qualities. The unconscious ceases to be a source of fear and becomes a guide, revealing our authentic self. Through consistent practice and self-reflection, we not only achieve personal growth but also a profound connection to the larger human story. Jung reminds us that life is a dialogue between masks and shadows, dreams and reality, inner and outer worlds. By listening, integrating, and acting consciously, we step into a life of wholeness, authenticity, and lasting fulfillment.